Hey crafty friends, it's Alyssa with Crafting to Cope, and I'm on today with a quick tutorial. Well, I don't know how quick it's going to be, but it's a tutorial. So today I'm going to show you how to make these fun nail file favors. And so it's these cute little packages with nail files in them. And so I made all of these different ones. And I used a bunch of different things. I used paper. I used a lot of Hobby Lobby collections, just because the nail files that I found matched the Hobby Lobby collections. And then I decorated them all different. Like I used a Dollar Tree flower. I used punches and stickers and little flowers from Hobby Lobby and different stickers from sticker collections. And so I made all of these cute favors, nail file favors. What I like to do is I make these at Christmas time. I make them in both Christmas theme and regular theme because they make great little stocking stuffers. They're cute to put into little gift bags and those types of things. And I do sell a lot of them. So we're going to go through today how to make these cute little favors. And so what you're going to need is some nail files. And I did get these at the Dollar Tree. I had them in one of my hauls a while ago. You get 3 of them. At the time it was 3 for $1.25. I haven't seen them again, so I don't know how much they are now. But the reason I picked them up is because they match so many different collections. It is more cost effective to buy them in bulk from Amazon, which I'll link some of those below. But if you can find these at Dollar Tree, like these ones match the Hobby Lobby bow and cherry collection. Some of these match kind of like their groovy collections. And so you're going to need nail files. Today we're going to use the cherry ones. You're also going to need cardstock and decorative paper. And then the tools you're going to need is you're going to need a paper trimmer as well as a scoreboard. So I have my scoreboard and my paper trimmer. I also use a corner rounder, and you need a scoring tool. And I also use the scoring tool to burnish my work. I also have a pair of scissors. I use these little clips all the time, so I always have them next to me, and these are from the Dollar Tree. I also have double-sided tape, and then this tool from the Dollar Tree to lift up the backing of the tape. I always have a ruler handy. Wet glue. My wet glue is in the Sweet Petunia Glue Press, which I'll link below. And then bags. So these are the same bags I used recently in a tutorial for pencil packs. And so I tend to make all my projects the same size to fit into these similar bags, so I don't have to have numerous sizes on hand. So we are going to make this project so it fits in those bags the same as my pencil packs. And so what we're going to do first is kind of pick out the paper we're going to use. And I've went through and picked out these cute nail files with the cherries and the bows. And so I'm going to first look for the decorative paper that I would like to use. And so I think I will use this piece. So for this today, we're just going to do a couple together. And then I have this Craftsmith cardstock, which I got for $4.99 from Michael's on sale. It was with the spring collections. And I'm just going to kind of go through here and decide what color. I wish there was a like purple. Is that supposed to be purple? That does not look purple to me. Does that look purple to you? Because it does not look purple to me. It looks like pink. Yeah, I don't like that. Let's see. There's purple on 2 of these. Let's see if I have other cardstock sitting right here. Let's do, you get to watch me be indecisive. I'm going to maybe pick a different sheet of paper. I think I'll do this one instead. Oh, that's so cute though. Yep, I'm going to do this one. And I guess we're just going to do purple. So what we're going to do next is we're going to score. So when you're doing this, I make my nail files in bulk. If you're only going to make one, I wouldn't suggest that you score the entire sheet of paper. Since I'm just probably going to make as many on this purple paper as I can to use up the paper, I score the whole sheet of paper. And I do this mainly because I don't want to score, you know, 5 individual strips. So what we're going to do, if you're going to make them in bulk, is you're going to go to the 3 1/4. Let's make sure that that's where I am. So 3 1/4, and then 3 1/2. So we just want a little tiny score mark. So 3 1/4 and 3 1/2. And then after, that's all the scoring we're going to do. After that, we're going to take our paper trimmer and we are going to turn the paper. So this is at the bottom, right? So it's down here, and we are going to cut the strips. My bags are 2 inches, so I want to go down and cut them a little bit smaller than 2 inches so they fit in the same bags that I already have on hand. So I'm going to cut this at 1 1/4 and 1 3/4. And then I'm just going to cut as many strips as I can at that because I want to just utilize this whole sheet of paper that I scored. So just cut them all at 1 3/4. And I'm actually just going to stop because right now we're just going to make 2, but you can keep cutting them out. And then after that, I'm going to set those aside. I'm going to take this paper, and again, if it's directional, you're going to want to pay attention to your direction. I'm going to cut this in strips that will fit on here. So I want to make sure my direction is going like this. So we're going to turn it this way. And these were 1 3/4. So these ones are going to be 1 1/2. And you should get 4 1 1/2 strips out of this sheet of paper. And so you're going to cut your 4 strips. Then you're going to take one of your strips and you're going to cut it in half. You're going to cut it at 3 inches. So now we're going to take 2 of these strips that are cut 6 inches by 1 1/2, and then these 2 strips that are cut 3 inches by 1 1/2. And we're all done with cutting for right now. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take these long strips that you cut that are 12 inches by 1 3/4, and you're going to fold up here at these 2 lines where you scored. So that's at the bottom. So you'll see you have like this, what looks kind of like a little envelope. And this paper is really thick and textured, so it doesn't like scoring. So pay attention to that. It's kind of wants to fall apart a little bit, but we'll make do. So what I like to do is at the top, I like to round my corners. So the top is, the bottom is this little flap, and then the top is the big section. I'm just going to round my corners. And then I'm going to take one of my long strips, which is going to go right here. And I'm also going to round those corners because I want them to match. And you don't have to round the corners. I just like how it looks. So we're going to glue that right there. And for gluing of this, I just use wet glue. You can use, obviously you can use a tape runner. I use wet glue because I just feel like it's a little more cost effective. If you're using tape runners and you're making things like this in bulk, you're going to go through an awful lot of tape runners, and it's just not necessary. Where a bottle of glue, I think the last bottle of art glitter glue that I got lasted me like 6-7 months. Then you're going to take one of these smaller ones, and that's going to go on the upside of this flap right here. So you want to pay attention again to the direction. I have done it where I have accidentally glued it wrong, but we are going to take that and just put that down here. And then just, our glitter glue gives you a little wiggle room. You want to make sure that you are above the little crease. And then here's where I like to take out my nail file that I'm going to put in here. So we're going to use this one. What I like to do is for this flap, you'll see, let me grab one of the ones I already did. You'll see at the bottom it doesn't really connect, and that's because this is pushed all the way down to the bottom. So what I like to do is just make sure this top section here is glued. And then because it has something in it kind of forcing it where it might want to open, I tend to over adhesive my projects. So what I do is I take double-sided tape, double-sided adhesive, and I know that this section here was 3 1/4, and then because that's where I scored it, right? So what I want to do is just get a piece of tape that is under 3 inches, because I don't need the tape to go all the way up here. And I don't like to put my tape on there because I have a hard time ripping it, especially when I'm on camera. So what I do is I just kind of eyeball it. I take like my ruler, which I always have laying around, and I just cut it a little under 3 inches. And again, this does not need to be perfect. And then I just kind of cut another one. So now I have 2 random lengths of tape, and I'm going to start glue with my tape down here and get it as close to this side as I possibly can, starting at the bottom and going up. Because again, when you fold this up, down here isn't probably going to stay closed because of this little gusset we made in there. So what I'm going to do is just put the tape wherever it lands, and then I'm going to burnish it a little bit with my scoring tool because that's what I have handy. And the reason I do this is because if I push it down with this tool, it's easier for me to get the backing off of the tape. If you don't push it down real well, see, like right here, it wants to lift up all of the tape. So I just kind of feed this around until it grabs it and then take off the backing of the tape. And then what I like to do is I actually like to put my nail file in there when I'm going to glue it, which I know sounds weird, but then I can just make sure it's closed. It's not touching, the glue is not touching the nail file, but it just, if I start to shove the nail file in there, I'm afraid I'm going to loosen up the glue. So I put this double-sided tape down, but I also put just a strip of wet glue on it. I over glue things, but I do 2 adhesives, and the reason I do that is if you put wet glue on top of tape, it'll still let you, it's a little more forgiving. You still have a little wiggle room, if you know what I mean. So what I'm going to do is figure out where I want it, and then I'm going to press it down and make sure it's straight, and then add a little pressure here with my scoring tool. Just burnish it a little, add some pressure. And while this dries, this is where I like to use these clamps. I just put them up here because this is where I need it to kind of stay. And I put these little clamps on here while I look for the decoration. Like, what do I want to put on there? And so I have a bunch of different things. I have this ephemera, which most of it's probably too big to put on there. I also have this sticker book, and these are clear stickers, so if I was to use one of these, I'd probably back it on some white paper. And then I have these pretty bows, and then these acrylic bows. And so what I might do is just dig through here, see if there's a cute sticker that I would want to use. And again, you could come up with all this planning beforehand. I didn't do that. So I like these cherries. So let's see what they look like. I use this tool all the time. So what you could do is, again, it's a clear sticker, which I do not love clear stickers. I will probably find a piece. I have all this scrap of cardstock that I drew on the other day, and I just find a clean spot and put my sticker down. Then you could punch it out with like a circle punch. Let's see if I have one of those handy. You could punch it out with a circle punch. You could fussy cut it. I'm just gonna, let's see. I'm just gonna punch it out and see if I like it. I kind of think it needs something else. Let's see, what else can we do? We could take, see if I have any scraps. So we could take a colored piece of paper. You know what? I think I'm just gonna fussy cut it. Let's just fussy cut it. This circle looks kind of lame, so I'm just gonna fussy cut around the sticker real quick, which is easy to do because you can totally see where the sticker is on the cardstock. And then it's no longer a clear sticker. Now it's a white back sticker, so you can see it just a little bit better. And then what I'll probably do is pop that up with a glue dot, which I know I have those right here. I have those everywhere. But again, you can decorate it however you want. You know, the other thing that would be really cute is you could just put this pink flower on there. I mean, the sky's the limit. You can do whatever makes you happy, whatever you think looks pretty. I'm just gonna throw one of these foam adhesives on here. And then I need to trim it a little bit. We probably only need half of this adhesive. So you just cut it, and then I can use that one as soon as I find it on my desk for something else. All right. And I am such a messy crafter. Sorry. I'm all over the place, and I did not plan ahead before we started this, so you get to watch my crazy creative process. And then sometimes when I add one of these foam, I again add extra glue. I just add extra glue to everything. And then we have this cute little holder. And then you just take your bag, and usually I let these dry a little bit, but for the sake of the video, I think I'll just put it in here. I take the bag, and I have the sticky tab facing up here. I have glue on my finger, and I'll turn the project upside down so the sticky tab is on the same side as the front, because I'm going to take this tab off and it's going to stick to me, static cling, and then I fold it up, and then we have another fun nail file. It's so easy. And they're so pretty. So I do like to make these for Christmas. I make them in everyday themes. I just kind of look at what matches my nail file, go through my scraps, and just come up with great ideas. And then these ones again are from the Dollar Tree. I'll link some fun ones on Amazon below. But just a fun little gift that you can give someone, a great stocking stuffer, something fun you can add to any sort of present. If you buy somebody nail polish or make them a little fun nail kit, you can add this cute packaged nail file and these fun little designs. And so that is my tutorial. I will link everything that I used today to make these in the description box below. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you have fun creating your own. Have a good day, everyone. Bye.